Hello, welcome to the 140 Q&A practice. We're going to start off with plaintiff questioning. Ready? Did Miss Warner leave you while you were still at your car at the gas station? After I gave her my gun, I left her and went down to El Torito. You gave her this pistol that is marked Exhibit 14 right there. Is that correct? That's right. Exhibit number 14. Thank you. Did she tell you what she was going to do with it? She told me that she knew how to make money. I gave her my gun. I told her that she had to give me $100 for using it and return it back to me by Tuesday. Did she say she would return it Tuesday, or did you say you wanted it by Tuesday? She said she would return it Tuesday. Now, up until the time you gave this pistol to her, had you ever fired it? No, I never fired it. Did you ever put bullets in it? Did I ever put bullets in it? Yes, did you? The bullets that I put them in when I took it from Holden. You said that you took this gun out of a car. Is that correct? That's right. You took it some months before June 14. Is that right? That's right. When you took it out of the car, was it loaded? It had 2 bullets in it. It had 2 bullets in it? Yeah. Did you know how to load the bullets into this gun? I knew how to operate it. All right. And did you put some more bullets in it? I put some more bullets in it. When you gave this gun to Macy Warner, how many bullets were in it? There were as many bullets in it as the gun holds, probably 6. Then you drove away from there. Is that right? Objection leading. Overruled. You may answer. I drove away and went to El Torito. Yeah. Did you go to El Torito or go to Mr. Holden's? I went to El Torito first. I stayed a few minutes talking to my friend, and then I stayed with him about 5 minutes. Then I drove over to Madison Street and took his car to him. Can you tell us what time it was when you drove to Madison Street to deliver the car? All I know is what time it was when I left. What time was it when you left? Well, when the old man called me, he told me it was 6:30. I said I was supposed to have the car back at 5 o'clock, and I don't have the car back. Then you left at 6:30. Is that correct? That's right. It was somewhere along in there. I don't know what time it was. All I know is that it was about that time. All right. When your car was parked on the gas station lot, you spoke to Steve Strong and to Macy Warner. Is that right? That's right. Can you tell us about how much time was used up while you spoke to Steve Strong and Macy Warner? Does he mean all together? Yes. Well, I would say maybe about 10-15 minutes. All right. I don't know for sure. Would it be fair to say that at about 6:45 you drove away from the gas station? Well, I don't know. Maybe somewhere along there. All right. And you went straight to El Torito from that gas station. Is that right? That's right. Did it take you more than 2 or 3 minutes to drive to El Torito? I don't think that it took me that long. It was just a couple of blocks down Wilmington. isn't it? About 4 or 5 blocks down there, yeah. And you only spent a couple of minutes in El Torito? I only spent about 5 minutes, like I said. All right, so I'm going to switch transcripts. And looks like it's plaintiff. Here we go. Counsel stipulate that that is William Kenneth Good? Yes. May we have that one marked 3A? It will be marked 3A. In relation to the 3:30 a.m. hour of April the 5th, 2011, when did you show her the photographs? About an hour and a half afterwards. Thank you. Nothing further. Cross-examination. Was this at her home that you talked with Mrs. Rodriguez? At first? Yes. The first contact, yes, sir. When you received notification that this particular car license plate was registered to William Kenneth Good, was there also an address with that? Yes, sir. And what was that? I don't remember the exact numbers. It was in Prescott, Arizona. Did that list some business in Prescott? Yes, sir. While you were with Mrs. Rodriguez, did she show you any particular items of clothing, or did you notice anything that would be unusual, such as torn clothing or that sort of thing? No, sir, I did not. Was there anything that was noteworthy regarding her appearance, such as bruises, cuts, etc., that sort of thing? No, sir. Then at some point, did you bring her to the Santa Ana Community Hospital? Yes, sir. I have no other questions. All right, so we're going to switch again. This is going to be defense. Doctor, if I were to restate the test, whether or not Mr. Johnson was legally sane or insane, if the test were to be in 2 phases, 1, knowing the quality of his acts or understanding the quality of his acts, would your opinion be different than the statement that was made with regard to knowing and understanding? Your Honor, it's a leading question and it seems to be ambiguous and compound. I will sustain it. You may rephrase it. Doctor, is it your understanding the test is twofold, to wit, knowing and understanding the nature and quality of the act? I think you are breaking 2 things down that are very similar and interrelated, basically, comprehending what is happening. Is there a difference between knowing and is there a difference between understanding? If you use understanding to mean really comprehending all that is happening at the time, yes. Then there is a difference between the two? Yes. After your examination of Mr. Johnson and the facts, all the input of facts that you have received, do you have an opinion of whether or not Mr. Johnson knew the nature and quality of his acts? Your Honor, it has been asked and answered. I think it's proper on redirect. Overruled, you may answer. I believe that this ability to comprehend the quality of his actions, the nature of his actions, was very seriously impaired by his psychotic state. Do you have an opinion as to whether or not he could understand the nature and quality of his acts? One can't make a definite statement on that, except beyond saying that his ability to understand was probably very seriously impaired. Doctor, in response to Mr. Enright's questions with regard to the beginning sequence, I believe your statement was that the beginning sequence started with the firing of the rifle. These events that took place on December 6th, this morning of December 6th. And your examination of Mr. Johnson, is that your starting point with regard to his hallucinosis when he first fired that rifle? No, the most vivid thing was back at the bar where he first saw this face. That was the onset of the acute hallucinosis. Did you have any facts that indicated to you that he was continuing to see this face at his residence? His statement, based both on his recall and what he said, had been told to him that he had been punching holes in the wall, trying to hit it with his fist. Did you have any independent facts other than from Mr. Johnson that indicated to you that there had been some holes punched in the walls over at his residence? Yes. Would your opinion have changed any if your information would have been that Mr. Johnson was firing a weapon at his house rather than punching holes in the wall? I don't think it would change it greatly. It's still a crazy response to a frightening situation. At the time of your examination, were you aware of Mr. Johnson's blood alcohol level? No. At the time of your examination, you were aware that Dr. Hunter had previously examined Mr. Johnson? Yes. Were you aware of the contents of Dr. Hunter's report? I had glanced over it. All right, and that concludes our Q&A practice for the 140 class.